Hello and welcome to another video, another installment in this book, Frameworks Volume 2, God by Paul Blackham. Yeah, we're on day 24. More on the impassibility of God. More on the impassibility of God. And you'll know that we're thinking about the emotions of God. And the idea of impassibility is this idea that God is not passible, not suffering or emotionless. He does not experience emotions. He does not respond or react to external stimulus from the experiences and lives of those around him. That's a philosophical idea. Anyway, that somehow God is lacking or non-emotional. The idea is that he's so perfect in who he is that he cannot change or be moved by or depend upon or in some ways react or respond, because in any kind of interaction or response to and reaction towards the things around him, then that would mean change, and you cannot change if you're perfect, because then you change from perfection to imperfection. Except that's just not what we see in the Bible, is it? In the Bible, we meet a God who is completely interconnected and relational and emotional and engages with, in a very real sense, in a live, living sense, with his creation and with us who are made in his image. A God who chooses to connect. He's not needy. He doesn't depend upon us, and yet he chooses to share himself with us. And with the creation, and he does this without compromising himself, without jeopardizing his perfection and his nature. We see this on the cross, that the Lord is full of living engagement and personality, even in the depths of the passion, when God the Son cried out in anguish to his Father as he suffered the wrath of God. Even at that time, God was no less God. He wasn't compromised. The authority, power, and glory of the eternal God was displayed most powerfully. So even then, when he was perhaps most pushed and pressed and most responding to the experiences of those around him, taking on the sin and the shame of the fallen world, even then he was the godness, the divineness of the Son was not compromised. And yet in the emotion of God, he is not like us. He's not controlled by his emotions, but he is always in control. We're moody, aren't we? Our feelings control us and so often shape our reactions and responses, but not so the Lord God Almighty. Even in all his emotion, he is not controlled by his emotion. And so I guess it's important to say that he's neither emotionless, neither is he emotional, in the sense that we are controlled by our emotions. And perhaps two of the strongest emotions of God shown to us in the Bible are his anger and his love. He cannot tolerate sin. He must express his fierce anger against evil. Not just something that can be brushed away, but something that has to be dealt with. The fury of his wrath must be poured out against sin. That's the sort of God we meet in the Bible. We meet a God who is full of love and compassion and kindness, who shows mercy to those who are far from him, mercy to those who are deserving of his anger. And he shows love towards the weak, the helpless, the widow, and the orphan. He takes evil and injustice seriously. He's not sentimental in his love, but he is a God who is in control of his emotions, a whole range of them. And in all that, he remains and continues to be God. The God of the Bible is not an emotionless robot. He's not an emotional wreck, but he is this God of righteousness, goodness, and of love. And it's wonderful that we have a living God, and not just some weak and cheap caricature, but a lively God full of emotion and life.